Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a Pearson R and also quickly show you how to do a Spearman row, but we'll do a full example of a Pearson R in SPSS. And so you can find in Canvas under an SPSS guide a bunch of data files, and I'm just going to use the Pearson R example data file. And so I've already opened this up, and in this example what we're correlating is temperature, so outside temperature, and beer sales, under the assumption that our beer sales are going to be higher as the temperature gets warmer, so that there'd be a positive correlation. So the way you do this is you just enter your data. You have your X variable and your Y variable, and again you can name your variables whatever you want in the variable view tab to keep them straight. And so to correlate, it's really pretty simple. You go to analyze, and you're going to go down to correlate, and you got a couple of options here. But what we're interested in here is bivariate correlation. It means two sources of variance. We have two variables, two sources of variance, so we're going to do bivariate correlation. And down here, this is where if you had a Spearman row, so if you had rank order data, you would uncheck Pearson R and you would check Spearman row. But first thing it's asking you for is what variables do you want to correlate. So we're going to correlate temperature, and we're going to correlate beer sales. So if you had a bunch of variables that you were correlating, you could list them all over here. But we're going to correlate those two. And by the way, you're going to need, before you can run it, you'd have to have at least two variables before you can run it, for obvious reasons. You can't correlate one variable, right? The test of significance, we had a two or one-tailed. We'll talk about what that means in class, or hopefully we've already talked about what that means in class. But you can do it. The default is going to be, and we're going to always do a two-tailed significance. So all you do is you click OK, and boom, you're going to get the output for the Pearson R. And so let me explain to you what this is. This is a table that shows the correlation coefficients and other things. So it has temperature, and it correlates it with itself. So really, it's going to be a correlation of 1. Really, this should be a sort of a blank cell, as well as beer sales correlated with beer sales should also be a blank cell. So you can just ignore those. And it's redundant information in these other cells here. So we want to see the correlation between beer sales and temperature. Here it is. It's a Pearson R 0.732, and it is significant, less than the 0.05 level, so there's some asterisks there. And this is the actual p-value, right? The significance, the two-tailed p-value is 0.007, and of course the n is 12. Now it's important to look at the n, because you want to make sure that you didn't mistakenly enter your data too much or too little. So you want to make sure that this matches up to what you expect. So in this case, we had 12 pairs. That should be right. So that's it. And if you wanted to do the Spearman row, you would do the same thing, but just with a different kind of variable, rank order data, to run it. So that's it.